if you have a singer like Fabi, who is, as a human, it's very hard to be with her. But her singing is like just off the hook. It's like crazy.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Clear the skies so I can fall into endless nights.
Fabi and Jonas of ILLUMISHADE, thank you so much for your time. You're on a tour bus. You've been living a crazy hectic schedule. I should first ask, I think Fabi, you were a little bit under the weather recently, so I hope everybody feels good right now.
Yeah, actually, I had some troubles before the tour. I was quite sick, and I have to say, it was a little bit stressful. I mean, first tour with ILLUMISHADE, first time singing this set 12 times in a row, more or less. I mean, it's quite a challenge, but now I can say it's all good again.
Good.
We're super good into the tour, already half done. It's a pity. I'm a bit sad about this.
But hey, more tours have been announced just now. I saw both of you last time in the flesh at the Opera House in Toronto. Obviously not with ILLUMISHADE, but with Eluveitie. But we're going to see you again because you just announced that you're coming to North America. So it's just nonstop right now. You're both very experienced musicians. Obviously, we've known you for quite some time now. But ILLUMISHADE is a newer band. Do you guys have time in between all that crazy touring and doing interviews on buses and making fun of each other when I'm not recording? Do you have time to do you have time to take a step back and appreciate that this is going faster than the average newer band?
This is Fabi's goal for 24 is a work-life balance. He told me.
Yes.
And it should be. She's working too hard, It's just fair to say that, of course, when we started out, Fabi and me, we weren't like unknown characters in the metal scene because of Eluveitie. That's just what it is. It's a fact. Mm-hmm. But then again, I think our music speaks for itself in terms of it's such a different kind of beast that we're not milking the folk metal cow, right? It's not what we're doing. It's such a different thing, and I guess by now it's safe to say that ILLUMISHADE took a life of its own, and still it was like a corona. So instead of the music going viral, it was the viral. Sorry, cut. But still at that time we thought we'd still release it because it was a DIY project by then. It was we weren't sure where it would lead, whatever. Mm-hmm. So we did it anyways, and I think we put a lot of effort in these streaming shows, and people appreciated that. And but yeah, I guess it was like we had. We had this boost certainly, but we also had a setback like thousands of other bands. So maybe that balanced it out a bit. But yeah, I guess now, especially with having this great team with Napalm, Rock the Nation, booking, things are moving fast. And I think if we're moving faster than other bands now, I think it's because I truly believe that we have just a strong. We're a strong musical entity, and we've come up with a cool. We've been cooking up some cool stuff in the kitchen, and people seem to enjoy that.
What you guys are doing, it's prog yet accessible. It can be hard yet poppy. I mean, I've seen people try to label you and have a hard time, figuring that out. Like people come up with progressive Djent Popcorn and stuff like that, which sounds like an ice cream flavor, if you ask me.
Yeah, or actually Djent Popcorn. That's
There you go. But I'm sure you've had a lot of fun, seeing those comments and whatnot. But to ask a more serious question about that concept, are there for you guys lines in the sand? Because on this album that's coming out, it is a roller coaster without any doubt. Like, you take us in very different directions while still having a cohesive album. Is when you guys are creating, are there like lines in the sand you will not cross? Like, is there a certain blueprint that your music has to fit into, or anything goes?
Anything goes, I would say. That was the whole essence of this new band we created, to have this creative output without any borders. Everybody has different influences from the past, every member, and we just have this white canvas that we can just color the way we want it. And I think this is why we all love this band so much in a creative way, that we can just throw in all the ideas and there is space for, I think, almost every idea, I would say.
For me, it's just like when I write, I just, my mission statement is to have parts that are illuminated, you know, and parts that really are in the shade. Because when you illuminate something, there's shade, and, you know, it's just a complex concept, but it's new to the metal scene, you know, light and dark. It's, yeah, okay. But no, I mean, it's really anything goes, because that's what we're, especially now for the second album, I think it's really important to,
Yeah.
because if you have a group like this, that everyone brings in like so many different influences that are not typically like metal, so to say. We also have that. I mean, Mark is like
Of course.
he's like a professor of prog music, you know, he knows all the track lists of the 1987 demo from Dream Theater, and then we have Miriam, who brings in the whole world of you know, film scores, orchestrations. We worked with the real orchestra because of her, and that, you know, it's like it kind of, it's like this big, you know, ceiling, kind of the sparkling ceiling that combines all the riffing, and he's like the cut through vocals, you know. And then we have Yannick, who he loves, you know, punk, American pop punk, singer-songwriter stuff. He's into Phoebe Bridgers, so that just makes for a cocktail that is, I think, the anything goes is like a mission statement, because it would be a shame not to.
Yeah.
In that way, I always think of Queen, you know. I'm not saying we compare ourselves in quality or in fame. Not, I mean, let's
Not
talk
yet,
yeah. No, but you know, it's also because I think we have that expressiveness, you know. If you have a singer like Fabi, who is, you know, as a human, it's very hard to be with her, but her singing is like just off the hook. It's like crazy. Yeah, but that's, you know, yeah. No, but you know what I'm trying to say.
But how can I trust someone I do not understand?
But let's take that Queen example, because, you know, Queen was as heavy as any other proto heavy metal band in the early 70s, with songs like Liar and Queen, Great King Rat and stuff like that. But then at the same time, you've got Love of My Life and Father to Son to balance that out. And you guys do that as well. And it's songs where you do allow to go completely outside of the borders of metal that stand out. For me, until maybe when I at the end hear Verliebt, which obviously was just, you know, blows you away. But before that, you know, the song for me that really stood out was Hummingbird. You know, and it just very, you know, a little bit more fragile, if you will. Now, do I understand correctly that you already mentioned, Yannick, that he wrote most of the lyrics, or am I mistaken?
Absolutely, yes. So that's one of the biggest differences, I would say, from the first to the second album, is that we changed the lyric theme, and it definitely evolved from a more like fantasy style or to a modern approach. Now, especially now with Verliebt, I don't know, I had this idea, I really want to sing in Swiss German or in Swedish, and yeah, there was this piano ballad that I don't know was created 2017 or something, and
By you,
Yeah.
you wrote this.
yes, and I showed it to the band, and then we were all like, okay, it will stick out more like a bonus track, and then like, hey, why not trying there something with an experiment with the languages, because somehow on all the other tracks it didn't really fit with Swiss German or Swedish, and obviously Yannick he speaks Swiss German, so it was the way to go that we did that in Swiss German, and he wrote this beautiful lyrics to this composition, and then together with Koen Janssen, of course, as well, everything just fell into place.
Koen Janssen, fantastic guy, very smart musician as well.
Smart. I think he's a very lovely guy. But
There you go.
we need to test his smartness the next time.
There you go. Let's do that. Let's set
No,
up.
we love him.
Let's put on a big quiz and see who comes out on top. That would be a fun challenge.
I hope he gets to see this. I hope him and Isaac get to see this. No, but he was so lovely. He came to our first show in Uden, and he brought he brought like a big like a care package for us for the road, which by now it's finished. But it you know, these you call it Wurstbrötchen, like that.
Worcesterbroodje. Yeah.
And he's a king. He's the official Wurstbrötchen king. So he brought like veggie and meat Wurstbrötchen for us. So yeah,
There you go. The breakfast of champions on the road.
Yeah.
And lunch and dinner. But,
Exactly.
you know, to use Koen as a bit of a segue, because something you mentioned before, Jonas, that, you know, Fabi, great person, but has to learn work-life balance. Fabi obviously worked also with Koen on the Off the Cross, cover of Dance Macabre. He was there as well. You were there. Just one of the many examples of stuff that you've been doing, and I guess we're talking at the very end of January, so I guess I could still say Happy New Year, but like what a year you've had and you've been pushed into as well, because we've seen you literally everywhere, not just with LLUMISHADE. You had to take on, especially in the North American tour, a much more prominent role in Eluveitie as well, and then obviously we've seen you guest with your former bandmates from Twina as well. Foyos once also called you up and said like, hey, let's do like, okay, so when do you sleep, or is the answer never, and that's why you were sick last week?
Actually, I was not sick since last March until now in January. I was so proud of myself. That was awesome.
She doesn't party. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't drink, I don't party, I don't smoke. I don't know if that's
Just wash the broodjes.
Just
Not even because they weren't vegan or raw vegan.
No.
Boring.
And as we stand against the shore, the waves align with our
No, but your work ethics are truly impressive.
And Fabi, do I remember that you
We have to
a couple of years ago, I think you released a quick little video yourself on YouTube. I think you were walking through a snowy woods where you were saying like, my real big wish is to one day release like a solo album, knowing that between all the stuff that you do, and especially with a band like LLUMISHADE, where you said yourself, there's no lines in the sand, so you can do anything you want if the band members like it. What would a solo album of Fabi look like? Like, what direction would you take is that Jonas can't help you with?
Probably he would have a guest solo or something in it.
You pay me, okay?
No, I already have a few songs kind of ready, just raw. But I think it's all about finding the right people to bring it with the whole arrangement together.
I would be actually very curious to hear something like I wouldn't want to be involved because I would want to hear it like what it sounds like.
It definitely has a folky touch to it.
Okay.
And I imagine it with piano and strings and some folky elements for sure, and more of the earthy tone. Maybe something not entirely like the Eluveitie direction, more like a ethereal, more poppy folk direction.
Okay.
That sounds hip.
But yeah, like barefoot with like a grand piano in the woods and stuff like that. I would absolutely love that. I think for me now, for this upcoming year, of course, ILLUMISHADE is a priority. Eluveitie. I also work now with a good friend of mine, Vadim Vidic from Infected Rain, where we're working also on music as well. And I don't know, it's just when you know so many talented people, you just gotta hook up with them and create stuff.
Yeah. If you think about your own stuff and challenging your own music, want to bring us back to ILLUMISHADE, where you as a singer, but also obviously Jonas, you as a musician, but you said earlier, like, well, Yannick wrote most of the lyrics, and these lyrics, they are not fantasy. They seem to be extremely intrapersonal. We see themes of trying to have acceptance with yourself and self-healing. Songs always go on a journey, and you will probably have a truth to a song that is different than how Yannick wrote them, and Jonas will probably have your interpretation of a song. And then when people like me and all the fans hear these songs, we will make up our own truths or meanings behind songs. Like, what is that like for you, tackling art that clearly, or this is maybe my assumption or my projection onto it, but feels that Yannick had to be in quite an open and vulnerable state for writing these lyrics? Is that like taking fragile texts like that and channeling them? Do you feel extra pressure than if it would have been about fantasy? Is there an extra level of pressure that you want to make sure that you do it justice, even if your interpretation might be different than what was originally conceived?
I never thought of it like as in pressure. I think it's a wonderful thing if we can work on music and bring words to it, and then I just use my voice to express it. I don't even really think about it if I can do its justice or there's
Right.
pressure, can I deliver? I just take it to me. Obviously, we talk about what are these songs about, and we work together. Like, hey, this phrase doesn't feel natural to me singing wise, and so on and so on. We work on it, we tweak them until it fits for everybody. For Yannick, that he's happy, that I am happy, feeling comfortable with the vowels as well. It's a huge topic when you write lyrics for certain melody parts. I need an open vowel and stuff like that, which can be a pain in the ass sometimes to find then the right words, especially because often in ILLUMISHADE, I would say, actually all the time, we first have the melody and then we add the lyrics to it. And this can be a challenge. We would need to talk with Yannick about this, but maybe it also helps, because otherwise you have just an open field, and if you already have the melody, you know a little bit the emphasis, you know where it should lead to. What I also love is when creating like the skeleton of a song. For example, it was with Rise like this. I just knew there needs to be Rise, this word, and then we built the whole song around this word, the topic and everything. And I like it when you have this intention when creating this song, and then you just follow this intention. And this I think is then when the magic is happening.
Carry me home. Oh, you've been gone for too long. Can I ever have
You're going to get feedback from your audience on all these shows and tours that are coming. You've got so many festivals planned and more tours as well. It's going to be extremely busy this year. So let's just zoom in real quick where we started, because I'm obviously excited about this North American tour. Jonas, what can we expect when we see you guys play in Toronto? I mean, not just Toronto, everywhere, but I'm going to see you guys play in Toronto. What can we expect? What should we keep our eyes open for?
Yeah, like just keep your eyes on guitar, man. Ears, just that's badass.
That's where it's
guitar
at.
playing, man.
That's where it's
fucking
at.
crazy. No, no, but I'm so so we're gonna actually like for all the people that come to our shows, we're gonna like have custom like headphones so you can mix your own show. So you can actually mute the vocals. It's awesome. No, but I'm really looking forward to Toronto because that's such a cool place with the Opera House where Metallica played that secret show, right? And
Yep.
there's this sandwich joint with this super cool, like this guy who's seen it all, and you can have a cool chat with him and have it's like this awesome sandwich. I'm so looking forward to coming back there.
Oh, we were there.
Yeah.
See.
You also, yeah, two times.
Yeah.
Such a cool place with that, and he has the shirt or something on the wall from the Metallica secret show. Super cool. So let's have a beer there or whatever you're drinking.
Oh,
But-
100%, 100%. I'll promise you this. We'll check in person for an in-person short tour interview. We'll do it at a hidden brewery around the corner that I'm sure you've never been to before.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay. No, but what can you expect? I mean, for me, like this tour now we're on with Delane, which is like it's a really nice first tour to get into the groove with us as a group because we're all close friends. But
Right.
it's always different to spend 2 or more weeks on a bus. But I think musically it's super awesome to see how we've grown now, like as an entity. It's starting to come together. And I really think people get like this cool mix of a tight band, but a very expressive band emotionally. I think we can hit people right in the chest, music like with the groove and the massiveness, but also with with the emotions. So I think that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get like will be, as you know, the music is very diverse, so will be the set. Yeah, we just we're just happy and we're just firing on all levels.
There you
Can
go.
be sure about that.
There you go. We'll make sure there's plenty of local craft beer for you, Jonas, and vegan
Thank you.
treats for Fabi, and we'll take it from there. Looking so forward to seeing you guys on the road and see how you're bringing this music to life, which I'm sure will be no easy feat to bring such a diverse music on the stage, but super excited about it. We'll see you guys in Toronto. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and enjoy the last few shows here, or not the last few, the second half of this current tour, and excited for all the fans to discover the full album when it's coming out with all its surprises and twists and turns. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk
Well,
to you
thank
soon.
you. It's been great fun.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your stay in Europe.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.